Well, blessed be the Lord. Here we are in a place where we know that everything that happened with Jesus happened for us and with us. Okay, my dog is just leaving. Okay, go. Now I'm not going to interrupt because you are part of my life, my daily life, right? This is not like a separated behind the curtain, the priest goes in and no, you are with me. We grow together, we learn together, we experience things together. So I heard good things from lots of you regarding this journey with Abraham. So we'll continue. I think we get to the part that remember I was telling you that it's like we come from 30,000 feet, we come closer to the ground. So we come closer to the ground. We're still not we're not in that place before the word touches the ground and fulfillment of the promise happens. There's still things to happen, and one thing that happens is Hagar and Ishmael, and I call that the natural way. So let's go and read about the story, because I think you will get to like Hagar. It's nothing not to like about her. It's she was a servant. She was born a servant. She didn't do anything bad or good to become a servant. She was born a servant. She was in the house, and probably she was very pretty. So Genesis 16. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, had borne him no children. We know that. And she had an Egyptian maidservant whose name was Hagar. So Sarai said to Abram, "See now, the Lord has restrained me from bearing children." Interesting. She had an interesting theology, this Sarai. And she knew something to do with the divine, something to do with the Lord. Probably Abram shared with her that he hears the Lord, and the Lord sends him places. So Abram shared about his relationship with the Lord and the promises that Abram got as far as the heirs. And Sarai said, "I got an idea. We can help God." You might be laughing like I do, but I'm telling you, we do that so many times. So let's keep reading. "Please go," says Sarai, "to my maid. Perhaps I shall obtain children by her." So that was another custom, that even if the servant would bring the child, it could be like an adopted child, so it still belonged to Sarai somehow. And Abram heeded the voice of Sarai. Then Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian. That's a very interesting thing. She was an Egyptian, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan. 10 years of waiting for the promise. 10 years of getting older. Right? 10 years of seeing nothing about the promise of God. So Sarai went to work. And she said, here she is. So Abram went in to Hagar and she conceived. Okay, and when she saw that she had conceived, and this is an interesting change in Hagar's heart. Her mistress became despised in her eyes. And I've seen this in some countries, especially in Africa, where having children, it's a prize for the woman. So if she has no children, she feels very low, and socially, emotionally, and everything. So children are a reward, a prize. So it's very possible, even in that culture, when Hagar got pregnant, she knew that, so she looked at Sarah. See, you cannot have children. I'm better than you somehow. So, but just look at me before I go further. Look at me at this girl, Hagar. I don't know if she had a boyfriend. I know she planned to get married. The servants would get married among their own social level, right? And have kids. So here's one night that the master comes into her place where she was and makes love with her and says, well, your master, your mistress, Sarah, sent me to you. So here's this girl, this young girl. It's like, okay, what can she do? Right? She just takes it. I mean, she was the servant. Right? So just look at this soul and try to understand Hagar. Right? So that's before we move forward. Right? Again, it was done to her, and she had no say into it. She didn't have to like it, not like it, like the master, not like the master. But she had this awareness somehow that she carries the kid of the master, Abram. No, she has his kid. And that gave her a new identity, carrying the master's kid, give her a new identity, a new position. And that's how she looked at her mistress Sarai. So Sarai said to Abram that she felt that, she didn't like it. My wrong be upon you, I gave my maid into your embrace, and I did it. I admit I did it. I sent that to you, but I didn't expect this. When she saw that she had conceived, I became despised in her eyes. The Lord judged between you and me. So somehow she blames Abram for it. Yeah, I mean, nothing to say more about that, right? And this was Sarai's idea. The husband gets blamed. We don't know what happened in the background, right? So Abram said to Sarai, indeed your maid is in your hand, do to her as you please, no protection. Another thing I don't quite like about Abram's soul, right? I mean, Hagar carries your child, right? Okay, we don't have to like Abram, right? We don't have to. He's the father of faith. The Lord is pleased with the faith. Okay, thank you. And when Sarai dealt harshly with her, she fled from her presence. It must have been super harsh. Okay. Now the angel of the Lord found Hagar, by a spring of water in the wilderness, by the spring on the way to Shur. And he said, Hagar, Sarah's maid, where have you come from and where are you going? I mean, I don't think it was like a vision. I think probably was another angel who had a body. He went and talked to her. So, knew the name. So she said, I'm fleeing from the presence of my mistress Sarai. The angel of the Lord said to her, return to your mistress and submit yourself under her hand. Then the angel of the Lord said to her, I will multiply your descendants exceedingly, so that they shall not be counted for multitude. Wow! That's a huge promise for the kid of the servant. The angel of the Lord said to her, behold, you are with child, and you shall bear a son. You shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord has heard your affliction. That's what Ishmael means. The Lord hears me. Okay. He shall be a wild man. His hand shall be against every man, and every man's hand against him. Shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. Then she called the name of the Lord who spoke to her. You are the God who sees. Beautiful. For she said, have I also here seen him who sees me? Therefore the well was called Beer Lahai Roi, which means the place where God sees me. So beautiful. What a relationship Hagar has with the Lord right there. The Lord hears me and the Lord sees me. Right? Yeah, I know you're gonna start liking Hagar a little bit. Observe it is between Kadesh and Bered. That's another interesting names translation, right? So Hagar bore Abram a son, and Abram named his son, whom Hagar bore, Ishmael. Hagar must have related to him what the angel said. That's why Abram did that, right? So it's, again, lots of background conversation. You have to kind of see it as kind of a journey, like a movie, right? Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bore Ishmael to Abram. It's like the Lord keeps track of every time, every single year. Everything means something. He keeps track of your journey. He keeps track of your life. Every detail, it's important to him. Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bore Ishmael. So Hagar has an encounter with the Lord. The angel brings that word from the Lord, a promise for her child. God blesses Ishmael because it's Abram's seed. Because it's Abram's seed. Very important to know. Okay? Now, why this Hagar episode happens? Why we couldn't go straight to Isaac? Now catch this. This is very important. Because the Lord was waiting for Sarai and Abram to exhaust all their natural ideas. 1 Corinthians 15, it says, first comes the earthly and then the heavenly. First comes the natural and then the supernatural. See, before the Lord makes their faith that is absolutely the Lord, Him only, the Word only, the natural way has to happen. And in the natural way, there is lots of times when we suggest to the Lord, we help the Lord, we explain to the Lord why this and so, and we rationalize with the Lord. So many Ishmaels. But I just want you to be at peace, because if the way of the father of faith went through the natural way first, lots of times our lives will go through the natural way. Lots of times that is religious way. Do not despise, do not look down at those years in religion. I know the heart that you had for the Lord. I know you were seeking the reality, the truth. That's why you're here now. But it passed through Hagar and Ishmael. And you had encounters with the Lord. Yes, you had experiences with the Lord in religion, in that place, because of the seed of Abraham, because the Lord Himself was drawing you to Himself, because of the Word of God that you are after, even passing through the time, the wilderness. He knew the time is coming when you'll exhaust everything else of the natural. And He was ready with the supernatural.